Well, thank you again for being with us today. If you can first just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you graduated, what you studied. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, Shani and Nia. I really appreciate this opportunity to speak to your listeners, share a little bit about my story and what I do. My name is Romarilyn Ralston. I'm the program director for Project Rebound at Cal State University, Fullerton. I'm a formerly incarcerated Black feminist abolitionist, and I've been doing this work in higher education, supporting the higher education and successful reintegration of formerly incarcerated people since 2016. I spent 23 years at the California Institution for Women from age 24 to age 47. And this year makes my 10th anniversary of liberation and freedom. So, I'm really super excited about what I've been able to accomplish in 10 years personally after spending, half my life in a cage, in a cell at CIW. So I started my education journey with college courses inside CIW. So, it was prior to the 1990s, before the crime bill of 94. And I fell in love with higher education. College really opened up my worldview. Prior to prison and prior to college, I'm a high school graduate. I'm a veteran of the United States Navy. And while I was incarcerated at 24, and soon as I hit the yard, some of the lifers welcomed me to campus and set me up on a path to success. And I'm really grateful to those women, many who are home now, some who still remain at CIW, like Leslie Van Houten and Patricia Quinn Wrinkle and Amina Rasul and so many other amazing lifers there. And they, set me up with job, you know, with the canteen. The canteen was my first job. I don't know how many listeners you have ever worked at the canteen, but that was my first job in prison. And higher education. My first, I think, three college courses was sociology, college algebra, and an ethics class. So from there, it was, yeah, let's do more of this. Since I'm going to be here for a while and I may be here till the end of my life, I wanted to fulfill a dream of mine, which was to be a college graduate. Both of my parents dropped out of high school. My mother insisted that my sister and I complete high school, but that was it for us. She had no other aspirations really for her daughters other than to be high school graduates. I had other aspirations for myself, and I wanted to, make my mother proud, my father proud, and to be a first generation college student. And so that was part of my incarceration journey, higher ed and leadership and fitness. And, after the 94 crime bill, when the federal government eliminated access to Pell Grants for incarcerated students, it was, a decade and a half or so before we were able to get college classes back in the institutions, in the prisons, where we didn't have to pay for them. For a few years, I paid for correspondence courses, which were really bad for profit schools that were predatory, and no one really shared any information with me about them. It cost me a lot of money. It cost my friends a lot of money. And most of what I had taken inside was a waste of time. It wasn't transferable. No one counseled me, advised me. So it was really a bad deal all the way around, except for those predatory institutions out there that exist. So after I was released from prison in 2011, I happened to parole to the beautiful city of Claremont, California. It's the city of trees and PhDs, with the beautiful Claremont colleges nestled right next to a transition program I was sent to. And several of my friends are professors at the Claremont colleges. I met them while I was incarcerated. They, stayed connected to me all that time. And so when I was released, I just connected with them, hooked up with them, asked them to support my, you know, track back into higher ed to finish my degree. They did so. I applied to Pitzer College, who at that time had a new resources program for returning students or non-traditional students, and was accepted early admissions. Graduated 2.5 years later with my bachelor's degree in gender and feminist studies, and applied to Washington University in St. Louis to their graduate program through their arts and sciences school, and graduated in 2016 with my master's in liberal studies. So that's my education track.
Thank you so much for sharing your personal history with us, Romarilyn. Can you tell us a little bit more about Project Rebound and how you got involved in the program that you're currently working for?
Sure, thank you. That's a great question. 2016, after I graduated from Washington University in St. Louis, WashU for short, go Bears.